Part 4. The Creator made the senses outward going. They go to the world of matter outside, not to the spirit within. But a sage who sought immortality looked within himself and found his own soul. The foolish run after outward pleasures and fall into the vast snares of all-embracing death. But the wise have found immortality and do not seek the internal in things that pass away. This by which we perceive colors and sounds, perfumes and kisses of love, by which alone we attain knowledge, by which verily we can be conscious of anything. This, in truth, is that. When the wise knows that that it is through the great and omnipresent Spirit in us that we are conscious in waking or in dreaming, then he goes beyond sorrow. When he knows the Atman, the self, the inner life, who enjoys like a bee the sweetness of flowers of the senses, the Lord of what was and what will be, then he goes beyond fear. This, in truth, is that. The God of creation, who in the beginning was born from the fire of thought before the waters were, who appeared in the elements and rests, having entered the heart. This, in truth, is that. The goddess of infinity who comes as life, power, and nature, who was born from the elements and rests, having entered the heart. This, in truth, is that. Agni, the all-knowing god of fire, hidden in the two friction fire sticks of the holy sacrifice, as a seed in the life in the womb of a mother, who receives the morning adoration of those who follow the path of light or the path of work. This, in truth, is that. Whence a rising sun does come, and unto which it sets again, wherein all the gods have their birth, and beyond which no man can go. This, in truth, is that. What is here is also there, and what is there is also here. Who sees the many and not the one, wanders on from death to death. Even the mind. This truth can be learned. There are not many, but one. Who sees variety and not the unity, wanders on from death to death. The soul dwells within us, a flame the size of a thumb. When it is known as the Lord of the past and the future, then the sense is all clear. This, in truth, is that. Like a flame without smoke, the size of a thumb is the soul, the Lord of the past and the future, the same both today and tomorrow. This, in truth, is that. As waters raining on a mountain ridge run down the rocks on all sides, so the man who only sees variety of things runs after them on all sides. But as pure water raining on pure water becomes one and the same, so becomes, O Naniketas, the soul of the sage who knows. Part 5. The pure eternal spirit dwells in the castle of 11 gates of the body. By rule in this castle, man is free from sorrows and free from all bondage, and attains liberation. In space he is the sun, and he is the wind in the sky. At the altar he is the priest, and the soma wine in the jar. He dwells in the hearts of men and in gods, in righteousness and in the vast heavens. He is in the earth and the waters and in the rocks of the mountains. He is truth and power. The powers of life adore that God who is in the heart, and he rules the breath of life, beaten in and beaten out. When the ties that bind the spirit to the body are unloosened, and the spirit is set free, what remains then? This, in truth, is that a mortal lives not through that breath that flows in and that flows out. The source of his life is another, and the cause of the breath to flow. I will now speak to you of the mystery of the eternal Brahman, and of what happens to the soul after death. The soul may go to the womb of a mother, and thus obtain a new body. It even may go into trees or plants, according to its previous wisdom and work. There is a spirit who is awake in our sleeps and creates the wonder of dreams. He is Brahman, the spirit of light, who in truth is called the immortal. All the worlds rest on that spirit, and beyond him no one can go. This in truth is that, as fire, though one, takes new forms in all things that burn, the spirit, though one, takes new form in all things that live. He is within all and is also outside all. As the sun that beholds the world is untouched by earthly impurities, so the spirit that is in all is untouched by eternal and external sufferings. There is one ruler, the spirit that is in all things, who transforms his own form into many. Only the wise who see him in their soul attain the joy eternal. He is the eternal among things that pass away, pure consciousness of conscious beings, the one who fulfills the prayers of many. Only the wise who see him in their soul attain peace eternal. This is that. Thus they realize the ineffable joy supreme. How can this be known? Does he give light, or does he reflect light? There is the sun, there the sun shines not, nor the moon, nor the stars. Lightnings shine not there, and much less earthly fire. From his light these things give light, and his radiance illumines all creation. Part 6. The tree of eternity has its roots in heaven above, and its branches down to earth. It is Brahman, pure spirit, who in truth is called the immortal. All the worlds rest on that spirit, and beyond him no one can go. This, in truth, is that. The whole universe comes from him, and his life burns through the whole universe. In his power is the majesty of thunder. Those who know him have found immortality. From fear of him fire burns, and from fear of him the sun shines. From fear of him the clouds and the winds and death itself move on their way. If one sees him in this life before the body passes away, one is free from bondage. But if not, one is born and dies again in new worlds and new creations. Brahman is seen in a pure soul as in a mirror, clear, and also in the Creator's heaven as clear as light. But in the land of shades as remembrance of dreams, and in the world of spirits as reflections in trembling waters. When the wise man knows that the material senses come not from the spirit, and that the awakened and sleeping belong to their own nature, then he grieves no more. Beyond the senses is the mind, and beyond mind is reason, its essence. Beyond reason is the spirit in man, and beyond the spirit in man is the spirit of the universe, the evolver of all. And beyond is Purusha, all pervading, beyond definitions. When a mortal knows him, he attains liberation and reaches immortality. His form is not in the field of vision. No one sees him with mortal eyes. He is seen by a pure heart and by a mind and thoughts that are pure. Those who know him attain life immortal. When the five senses in the mind are still, and reason itself rests in silence, then begins the path supreme. This calm steadiness of the senses is called yoga. Then one should become watchful, because yoga comes and goes. Words and thoughts cannot reach him, and he cannot be seen by the eye. How can he then be perceived except by him who says he is? In the faith of he is, his existence must be perceived, and he must be perceived in his essence. When he is perceived as he is, he shines forth the revelation of his essence. When all desires that cling to the heart are surrendered, then immortal becomes immortal. And even in this world, he is one with Brahman. When all the ties that bind the heart are unloosened, when a mortal becomes immortal, this is the sacred teaching. 101 subtle ways come from the heart. One of them rises to the crown of the head. This is the way that leads to immortality. The others lead to different ends. Always dwelling within all beings is the Atman, the Purusha, the self, a little flame in the heart. Let one with steadiness withdraw him from the body, even as an inner stem is withdrawn from the sheath. Know this pure immortal light. Know in truth this pure immortal light. And Naniketas learnt the supreme wisdom taught by the God of the afterlife, and he learned the whole teaching of the inner union of yoga. Then he reached Brahman, the spirit supreme, and became immortal and pure. So in truth will anyone who knows his Atman, his higher self.